All right, folks, here we are looking at the my list, and this is purely going to be mostly talking and some images on the screen. All the links will be in the description below on where to buy these phones at, but we will get you the specs here. You can pause it at any time and figure out, you know, what you'll think is good and what you don't think is good. So let's get right to it. So the first one we're going to bring up is going to be the Pocophone F1. We're going to bring it in right now. Doing that. Yay! And now we will go over those specs. It's a 6.18 inch 2246 by 1080 display with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 845. It's got 64 gig of onboard storage, ROM, whatever you want to call it, 6 gig of RAM, but it does have a dual SIM, and one of the SIMs can be used as a micro SD slot, up to 256 gig extra. If that isn't enough for you, you're just not saving your stuff up to Google Photos. It is 4G LTE capable. It's an international edition. It has Windows 8 on it. It might eventually get Windows 9. Xiaomi is pretty good with that. It has a fingerprint reader, a 12 megapixel and 5 megapixel rear cameras. In the lower reses, I believe it has EIS on the front, a 20 megapixel front camera, and a 4,000 milliamp battery. This thing gets excellent battery life. Big display, but a super efficient display. So then we're going to move on to our second one. Let's see if I can get it over there. There we go. Or not. So the second one is the Xiaomi Mi A2. It's a 5.99 inch 2160 by 1080 Full HD. Has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 660. It's very good for gaming still. 64 gig of ROM. No micro SD storage. Sorry. Does have dual SIMs. 4G LTE. 12 megapixel and 20 megapixel rear cameras. And it does have EIS at 1080p. Or 720. 20 megapixel front camera and a 3010 milliamp battery. This one you can find really cheap at GearBest currently, like $203. The previous phone we're looking at like $340, $329, pushing that into a level almost considered mid-range. So now we're going to move on to the next one. If I can get it to cooperate, and there it went. Yay! So we've got a new Mobile G3, 5.7 inch, 1440 by 720 display, 4 gig of RAM. An excellent device. It's got a Helio, which is a MediaTek P25 processor, 64 gig of RAM over dual SIMs, and you can use one of the SIMs with a micro SD slot or with a micro SD card, up to 128. 13 megapixel primary front and rear cams with 5 megapixel secondary on the back for bokeh shots or whatever. 4G LTE and voice over LTE and NFC. 3000 milliamp battery. Smaller display. It's only, with the 720, it gets really good battery life. So, moving on. Let's go to the next one. There we go. And the next one and the last one on our list is the Umidigi One Pro. It's a 5.9-inch 1520 by 720 display with a Helio P23 processor. It might well have a slightly better graphics processor. 64 gig of ROM. It has dual SIMs plus a micro SD expansion slot, which is a good thing. It has 4G LTE and voice over LTE and NFC, and it does support wireless charging, unlike the other three on our list. It has dual speakers, 12 megapixel and 5 megapixel rear camera, and a 12 megapixel front shooter. It does not have EIS, as far as I know. Haven't seen anything to say it does. Has a 3050 milliamp hour battery. Should get excellent battery life, and of course it has a notch. There's only one phone out here or two that don't have the notch, and that's the Mi A2, my choice by far. And number 2 would be the Mobile G3. Also an excellent phone, easily tucks in your pocket, light, easy to hold. So let's reach our conclusions here. And the conclusion is that all of these are good phones. Now, if pictures are your thing, you're going to want the Mi A2, the Focal phone, or the, that's it, those two. Because the EIS, as far as videos go. As far as pictures go, the Xiaomi's are going to take good pictures. The new Mobile and the Umidigi are not going to take as good of pictures in the evening. So that's all I got for tonight. Tried to keep this short. Hopefully, I made my point. That's it. Remember, everything is in the description below. And check out all those links. And make sure you give us a big thumbs up if this was even remotely helpful to you. Those help. And maybe leave some feedback, comments, positive, negative, always good, always encouraged. So thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Have a wonderful day.